Mahama rejects arrogant aid from Trump. Every day I get prouder and prouder of this beautiful country called Ghana.
If we are to keep to this trajectory to win ourselves, would you say the health sector, can the health sector survive without aid, as broadly defined, including the grants that we need to finance the health budget? Knowing what you know, can we survive without the health sector? Can it survive without aid?
Well, currently I would say no. We just have to do something about it.
Meno kasa Ghana, yetuma ya kokodro de na yesi fam say emwa bia every USA di moba. Aba bebo ya pomode na ya yaresa no. Ye di na yesi fam say sa aid no yempe.
There's nothing wrong with foreign aid. We just need to understand what it's for. As the name suggests, it's aid. It's not supposed to be a substitute for your indigenous efforts at national development. So
Ayadan nientia ebi asipen na ususa die benti e na ma we yakoso bo modern na subscribe na for adwenkyere ne to wo Ghana mampani ene naban ene Ghana Health Service anamontu ya wotu no hu ni sen for adwenkyere ne to na subscribe Ghana News Central ebeboa anase emwa kra nti amane mo abeto dwane se yankase yenim se Ghana baby wo ha ya ye ho nso yakwanko nti definitely idu baby ya na amaya hodo tumi so ya sere nkakra because en kan kwa jure na no France for kra ba ha ebe ma ya srafo ni training wo bra na Germany for nso kra di nkanya ba ba mo training kakra ne ade nti we de enye training ana ode ma ya bambo for nemom eye mo a every USA chese wode ba be boa yen ni titire ya pomuden ene ya yaresa anase ya yarehwe ho na de US na de akire yade ahodo ana ono ohwe so betumi aso Ghana fo asana ma bibia atumi ayeyi no aye HIV AIDS malaria tuberculosis ai friend TB no na afi polio sa yade na edu ba bia utumi say ya some health professionals bi ana workers bi ene na mro no so ya osan bag bi a orura afia hodo mu so nkwada enum no yes aya de na friend polio no na tuberculosis so ye friend nsamanwa malaria de menim so unim na HIV AIDS so de eno so unim enti ano na USA na ni die chi so obehwe aso Ghana asene na yetumi akon etia sa anyare wei na Ghana se ye ntiase ye nyintum onfa ne mu a wo sa emu anum no osinko beso Ghana asene de sika beye 109 million US dollars eno de so Ghana asene boaye na sa anyare wa we nom yetumi ahye enti se obi wo bi na nesa eno ne kona ya den because of USA de nti ahoto ne beba kakra but ne nyina na Ghana so wonte ase ni e wo mu ni opening ba ko ede na no disa betudwa said no, yes ene ya ye kasa ipa de Ghana ede ahokyere bebre yen ni nyina na say ye ho nso yakwankro na US fo ba be so yase na wo sa anyara wa wenum ho na yase ye nyintum de ye ho nso yakwankro nti se sei de ye ho be kire nembom se emre ko nanim na ye de ye nse be hye anase ye bebo ye ho so pagya na ye ntena se fa yensan hye dem de fam na ye behwe ama bibia atumi akọ enkan ama ye ne de definitely ahonto beba yes ahonto beba enti Mr. Alexander Akwasi Acquah awaye member ewa health committee no mu no ono na akaso no nso na ye mrahye bedwani anase MP for Akim Oda.
If we are to keep to this trajectory to win ourselves, would you say the health sector, can the health sector survive without aid, as broadly defined, including the grants that we need to finance the health budget? Knowing what you know, can we survive without the health sector? Can it survive without aid?
Well, currently I would say no. We just have to do something about it. Because even say my former position as the deputy minister, I could not come to terms with the fact that we had aid in terms of logistics from foreign partners, and we could not just clear them from the ports. You remember that big story. So even if the aids that are coming, we still want to take taxes on them to support our budgets. And now we say we want to wean ourselves totally from them. How do we survive? I mean, this 15% declaration by Abuja, the Abuja Declaration, still demanded that there's that level of support from developed countries, developed partners. And so kindly, we just have to bite the bullet. And like Doc said, we may have to look into our systems and cut off all the waste, because there is a lot of waste within our public sector, and you cannot take away the health sector, because most often than not, because we have relied on aid, it's become one of the major motivation. I'm telling you, the health sector is suffering because I know what is happening, especially when the USAID and others got cut off. There are certain areas that got a lot of motivation from some of this aid. And now that they are not coming, it's become critical. Very recently, I think about a month or so, we met the Ghana Health Service boss and their agencies. And all the program managers in their presentation gave us an indication of what is ahead if we do not sit up to look at the financing, health financing. So clearly, if we want to cut them off almost immediately, thank God it's only the US that is playing this kind of games with us. There are some other donor agencies that are still with us, and so it gives us an opportunity to start looking beyond aid, and let's look at ourselves.
And according to the not just say USAID na eba and peninfo. Enyi ntum se beba no amasa on pese omuhu nipa bia ebi obeyare nipa ko a oye sede na setena mu kura mpo esitie yade no sede esitie chese on pese omuhu bibia mu fine enzi se ebi ame na malaria bia cheme a emu ana omode boa no nti no on pese omuhu everything about me on pese omuhu bibia e fa me ho se ye won so na ebi achoa on pese omuhu bibia e fa ho adekodi enam so ayade no e kan wo ene die ni kwansa wo ye bibia on person ho bibia ama ayade no kra kan de ekoso. And I said, no, we all have privacy. You'll be out with the privacy. And this somebody more be back. Nasa we know now to actually the agent. In the Ghana Yanyantu. Yes. Ghana Yantu. I mean, Guy was a and the much say Ghana, a largest West Africa country. I just say USAID Yanyantu. Zambia, I will be paying. And Zimbabwe so to sana mon we pen bet. Ghana de we no ase aya man for one. A shock a man for say US pa eba meboa yen na yetumi akonya rewa bi mo. Na Ghana yanyan tum de. Na say yes ade no eni akoye nyan. Say wo be ka no kre. Eni akoye nyan. Wo hu bi da. Na we hu ne say Mr. Alexander okasa aye no. And Dr. Ni Moy Thompson, our also yet chairman, Ghana National Development Planning Commission, on also the Ninsembia Tuja. Osenka USAID na urban or how near my neighbor Nimbia. In Kenya bonnet, say Ghana be accept. But implications are what about a home in tea. So yan to me ye. Then also say yan kasa, yan ye dientu, na yan sheni ye, yen sumu ye. In
this case, it's going to be sent across the oceans to the U.S. for their own usage. And it's baffling within the context of foreign aid. It's like we're replacing one, which was USAID, which somehow deviated from its core mandate of development. In the end, they started serving things like LGBT and all sorts of other rackets out there. So the Trump administration comes in and gets rid of it. And it seems to be replacing it with something completely illogical also. But I'm glad that we've taken that stance. As you rightly said, it has forced us to look within for other things. But let me also say at the same time that generally speaking, there's nothing wrong with foreign aid. We just need to understand what it's for. As the name suggests, it's aid. It's not supposed to be a substitute for your indigenous efforts at national development. So that is very critical for us to bear in mind. There's no country that I can think of that's developed in the past 70 to 80 years without substantial inflows of aid. It's a question of what you use the aid for, how you use it, and motivations involved. China, for instance, was on foreign aid from Japan for 40 unbroken years. And after they overtook Japan, they then gave up on that. So the problem is not aid per se, but sometimes you need to question the motives of those who give you the aid and to see what they have hidden behind those things. Those things are they Trojan horses.
Yen prioritize yankasa ye na ebeboa yen ama bibia ye mise ne sese de abibiduro fo mo ho I say yes mate de enti Ghana de na yesifam I reject US aid who ne say aya na wontu say yes eye and answer enye for adwentra ne to we are subscribing na yehu say onso wajatum Ghana News Central yeso no Ghana montene no no so nsama ho do na ro menenam so a ebi ni